Hey everybody, welcome back to the How to Play video of Box Office Blowout, a movie building game for 2 to 4 players. I'm going to just show you a little bit on how to play, how to get it set up, and get it started. The first thing that you do is you grab the score pad and you write down your production company name for however many players are playing. So we have our 2 production company names, and you just kind of set this off to the side, and it'll come back into play when you score movies. You'll write down how much money you make here, and then your second movie there, third movie there, fourth movie there. In a 3 or 4 player game, you don't use the 4th movie, you only go to 3. And then at the end of the game, there's some awards that you can win, and you'll write those totals here and here, and then at the very end you total it all up and see who wins. The next thing we do is, I've already shuffled all the decks. You take the award deck and you draw the top 4 cards. There's a whole bunch of other awards, but you don't need those. Throw those back in the box. And let's see what awards we can win during this game. We can win Best Comedy, which is be the first production company to release a comedy movie. This is the comedy symbol. Worth at least $25 million. And then at the end of the game you get to roll 2 dice to score more money at the end. So next award is the Best Director. Be the first production company to release 3 different types of movies. So it would be like a comedy, a romance, and an action movie. The next one is Best B Movie. So whichever production company has the lowest grossing movie receives this award. So at the very end of the game, whoever has the worst movie gets this, and they get an extra 2 dice at the end. And then finally we have Best Action Movie. So this would be the first production company to release an action movie worth at least $25 million. So those are the awards that we are playing for during this game. The next thing you do is you deal out a critic card to each player, and this begins your reserve. Each player has a reserve that kind of just goes off to the side, that are cards that are face down, and you can have up to 3 cards in there, and if you ever have a 4th, you just have to discard one or play it or do something with it. So critic cards are really fun and kind of nasty cards that you can play on other players, and sometimes they benefit you. But so this critic says, man, this is such a low budget movie, and you can place on a movie. You wouldn't want to place it on somebody else's, but they would get -2 production dice next turn. Explain what that means a little bit. So there's my critic card. Then the next thing is we each draw 3 movie cards, and then you pick one to start with. And let's see here. So I have an action movie called Pigeon Power. It needs a director, a small set, an actor, and then it has a 1 die potential that I roll at after it releases when I've met these requirements down here. I have Pluto Attacks, and then Pridefully Prejudice. You know, I think I'm going to go try to get the Best B Movie and just crank out this little guy. So I'll put that face down for now, and then these go back on top. Okay, so we have our movies, we have our reserve. These go back here and get shuffled back in. Then we set up the production line to see what is out there first. And you put out 5 cards here. And we have a set, a director, an actor, another director, and another set. So what you do is then the person who saw a movie last goes first, or just some random way that you want to decide to go first, and you take these 5 production dice and you roll them. Do that, and then you see what you get here. So I have 2 sets, 1 movie reel, 1 actor, and 1 film crew. And then you get to re-roll any or all of the dice 1 time. I want this set. I'm going to try to get another movie, so I'll keep that. And so the cost on the cards are right here. So this set costs 2 to get this one. And same with this set. All sets cost 2. To get a new movie, I have to get at least 2 movie reels. Then I can draw 2 movies and pick one. And then for each additional movie reel that I roll, I draw another card. So if I rolled 4 movie reels, I would get to draw 4 cards, but I still only pick 1. So I'm going to save those 2, and I'm going to re-roll these. Okay, so this ticket here is a wild. So this can be anything I want. Then I got another actor. I will go ahead and spend the 2 to get Hawaii, and I could either place it on my movie Pitch and Power, or I can place it in my reserve, but I can only have 3 cards there. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and place it out there. So I've spent these 2. I'm actually going to spend these 2 to draw movie. Let's see. Do Ninja Fries 2. So I placed that one out there too. So now I'm working on 2 movies. And then this one just goes to the bottom of the stack there. And then I have 1 die left over. It can't buy anything, so then I just discard it. It's kind of a useless die. Then at the end of my turn, I don't have anything that can release, no movies that can release, so I'm done with my turn. Since no one bought this one on the far rightmost spot, this card actually gets discarded. And then these all shift down. And you bring out 2 new cards and then pass the dice, and it is now Becky's turn. So she takes the dice, she rolls, and she got a wild, she got 2 film crew, which aren't any, and she got 2 movies. What was her critic here? So critics cost 1 movie reel, some cost 2 movie reels to activate, and then you can do different things. Okay, so she's not going to use that right now. I think she's just going to keep the wild and roll everything else. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I could use the wild with my other directors to get Jorge Lux, because then she can actually roll an additional box office die, which means that would make this go from 3 to 4 dice that I'd get to roll at the end to see how much money it made. Or I can get just Christoph Nolman, who allows actors and actresses cost 1 less for this movie. So instead of costing 3, it would actually cost 2. So you know what? I think that's what she's going to do. She's going to take this, get that, spend those, and then she's going to spend this to get a set and get the county fair, and go ahead and place it on top machine gun. Again, she has 1 left over, can do nothing. The one in the rightmost spot wasn't purchased, so it gets moved over here. These all go shift down. More cards come out, and then it's my turn. Again, I got some film crew, I got a director, I got a actor, and a set. I think I want to try to get the set again. Yeah, I'm going to try to go for actors here. I think I'm actually going to spend this to get Adam Sandstorm here. And I'm going to play Adam Sandstorm on Ninja Fries 2. And when I do that, what's cool about this is, so since Ninja Fries 2 is a comedy and Adam Sandstorm wants to star in a comedy, he gets this bonus. Not only is he worth $2 million at the end of the when it releases, but he also adds gets his bonus, which is roll an additional production die next turn. And that's what these guys are up here. So now next turn I get to roll, in addition to my 5 dice, I get to roll an additional die because he wanted to star in that movie. So to get another critic card, you actually just spend any 2 symbols. So I'll just spend these 2, and I get to draw another critic card. This one says place on a movie, discard a set from that movie. Okay, so I'm going to be pretty nasty here. I still have this die that I haven't used, and I have low budget, which is -2 production dice, or discard a set from a movie. So I'm actually going to spend that. Play low budget on top machine gun over here. Becky on her next turn is only going to get to roll 3 production dice because she's -2 because of the low budget. Okay, so nobody got this one again. This guy moves down, goes away. These shift down like that. Low budget is in effect, so she actually is 2 less. So she rolls these 3. She's going to keep the film crew, roll the other 2. Well, this isn't too bad. She's going to keep the film crew and get it, and she's going to hire a makeup artist. Movies actually don't need to have any film crew. Film crew just add bonuses to your movie. So like this says, you may use actors as actresses and actresses as actors. So Top Machine Gun needs 2 actresses. Well, now Becky can actually, through the power of makeup artist, can now hire actors also for this movie. And then she's going to get another movie. She draws 2. She's going to do Friday the 29th, even though Becky does not like thriller movies. But this one's a big one. Needs a director, a large set, a medium set, an actor, actress, and he gets 5 dice potential. So pretty cool. So as you can see, you're gaining different movies, and then you're getting different requirements that you need for those movies. The movie is able to release when you have met the requirements. So let me show you what that looks like. All right, so Ninja Fries 2 is ready to release. It needed a director, which it has. It needed a large set, which it has. I didn't explain this on the beginning part of the video, but in a future turn, after you get the set, then you have to pay an additional set icon, and then it becomes a medium set, and then it's worth $1 million. And then you have to pay another one, and it can move, and then it's worth $2 million. And so this can be done on the same turn or future turns or whatever. So in this case, it needed a large set. So we got this there, and then has the Stone, which is an actor, and he's going to add $1 million. And then it has Adam Sandstorm, which is going to add $2 million to this final release. So for the release, you see how many production dice or how many box office dice you roll. So this one you get to roll 3, which is the same dice, and so you can see the different numbers on the dice. And so depending on the numbers you roll, you just add up the numbers, and that's how much money you get. So let's see. Okay, so I got 6, 4, and 3. So this movie has $13 million so far, plus 2, so that's 13, 14, 15, plus 1, 16, then plus 2, 17, 18. So this movie made 18 million, and so I would come over here to the Box Office Blowout scorecard, and then I would write down 18 right there. If I would have made 20 million, I would actually get to keep a director, an actor, or an actress for a future movie. And I could take that and put it right onto another movie, or I can stick it in my reserve. Then, after the movie releases, and I didn't make 20 million, so I have to clean all this up. And I just take it all and I stick these cards in the discard pile. Then I check to see, did I meet one of the award criteria? So I released a comedy. I did not meet the best comedy one. I needed 25, and if I would have got 25, I would flip this over and then I would keep it together just off to the side. And I keep this movie to remind myself that in the future, if I were to make a comedy and a romance and a thriller movie, then I could win the best director award also. There you go. And then after that, after everybody goes back and forth and scores in a 2-player game, you go to 4 movies. Then you add up your awards, you add up everything, and you total to see who has the most money, and then somebody wins. And that's a short tutorial on Box Office Blowout. Oh yeah.